Well, you're watching America Trends, where we cover all the hot topics of the day. I'm Dr. Gina. Trending today, West Nile Virus. Trending actually this week. Mosquitoes in North Carolina have tested positive for the virus. Many have shared articles and studies about this on Facebook, and people are rightly concerned about the possibility of getting the virus or their children being infected. So that's why I asked someone who actually has West Nile virus and knows a lot about it to join us here on the show tonight. He's a mosquito expert. They call him Mosquito Steve, and I know that because as a mom, I watch his site, mosquitosteve.com, and I think all moms should. Steve Moore, welcome to America Trends. Good to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Gina. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you so much. All right, now, Mosquito Steve is your name, and that's because you know all about what is happening. And it's crazy because West Nile virus is actually trending this week. As someone who actually suffers from West Nile, you've studied the phenomenon, and you know how to keep consumers safe from not only the pests, but also the pesticides we use to protect our families. But my first question, why are we talking about this in the fall, and why is West Nile virus such a concern in the fall?
Well, the number one reason is that people think that we don't have to worry about mosquitoes this time of year. And I have people contact me all the time. They want solutions, but they don't understand where they tell me things like, well, I don't want to do anything right now because it's the end of the season. Well, it's really not the end of the season. Here in Texas, we'll have mosquitoes till Thanksgiving, at least. And so generally what happens is people just don't wear protection when they go outside. And so the West Nile virus numbers tend to go up. And there's really no other than this is also typically a rainy season. This is the second wettest month here in Texas. I'm not sure what it is there in North Carolina, but that has a lot to do with it. But this year I haven't seen rain in forever. So.
So yeah, I mean, obviously the rain has something to do with it, and maybe in the fall as the temperatures are starting to drop, or people are expecting they will, they're not taking all the proper precautions outside of their homes as well. There are a lot of questions, though, about insect repellent. One of the first things I noticed when I moved to California is that they completely wrap houses when they fumigate here. And it makes me wonder what they're putting in the chemicals they're using. And I actually personal story, I lost a bulldog after we fumigated the last time. So what is the down low on this, and what are we putting in our bodies, Mosquito Steve?
Okay, so when you see somebody wrap an entire house, run away, run far away. So typically that is for either bed bugs or termites. And so you're not going to see things like that for mosquitoes and a lot of the insects that most of us deal with on a daily basis. I can't tell you, I'm not an expert on those insects, so I can't tell you if there are natural products there, but I suspect that there has been a lot of research towards that. The problem is the misinformation. That's really the problem with the industry. All of the pesticides, there's a lot of money behind those pesticides, and so they're telling you that natural products don't work, that you have to use, well, people that say you have to use DEET, the federal government tells you have to use DEET on one hand, but then on the other hand, like federal prisoners, they don't allow them to use DEET. So I think it's really interesting that the EPA says use it and the Federal Bureau of Prisons says don't use it.
Wow, that's some conflicting information, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. It really is.
All right. Now, you suffer from West Nile virus. Tell us about your daily struggle and what made you decide to take action and start mosquitosteve.com to help customers protect themselves from the pests and pesticides that are so dangerous.
So what sets me apart from the other mosquito guys is I actually stand outside and I count how many mosquitoes land on me. So I've had as many as 900 mosquito bites in one night. Wow. So there's pictures on my website and videos, and so what the reason is because I can kill mosquitoes with almost anything in a lab setting. And so what I want to do is I want to test products in the real world where you and I are going to be. And so so I stand out there and I count, they call them human landing rate counts. So in 2008, we were not getting very good numbers, and I wanted more numbers so I could do some testing. So we started breeding them in this backyard, and which now I can see was a mistake. But Anyways, I had so many bites, and I got West Nile, and I got really, really sick for about 2 months. I'm a husky guy, and I'm pretty strong and healthy, and so it didn't affect me much other than I got like flu-like symptoms. I mean, there was a couple of weeks where I couldn't get out of bed, but I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything like that. Now, since then, so once you get West Nile virus, it doesn't go away. So I've had the symptoms 3 times since then. In fact, I'm actually just trying to get out of them. I wore myself down about a month ago, and they came back for a couple of weeks. And I'm still got a little bit of lingering side effects from it. So, it's not a lot of fun, but I'm fortunate. There's a lot of people that die from it, and there's a lot of other mosquito diseases that people die from. They carry 150 different pathogens.
So we definitely want to protect our children from this, but it's kind of a chicken and egg question. Is it best first defense, Mosquito Steve, to treat the child or the yard itself?
What I would recommend, definitely, if you can get away with just doing the yard, that's awesome. Like, we have a yard spray you can spray, and it's for 10 days to 2 weeks. You won't have any mosquitoes or chiggers or ants. But I would also recommend, if they're talking about West Nile virus in your neighborhood, in your community, then it would be irresponsible to say don't wear some sort of on-skin spray-on repellent. And so I will tell you, here's the problem with DEET. DEET, CDC actually came out with a study 2 years ago showing that the second application of DEET actually does you no good whatsoever.
Oh, interesting.
So once you've applied it, if you're outside for a long time and it's starting to wear off, applying it again will do you no good. The problem with that is they claim that it lasts 6 hours, but it really, in my studies, it only lasts about 45 minutes because I've tested my products and theirs. And so other than Deepwood's off, and I really shouldn't be saying brand names, but other than that, the other DEET products I tested actually don't last more than 45 minutes. And so so my goal in doing natural products was to be better than the chemicals.
I always prefer the natural products to the chemicals, and I know that if people go to your site, you have all this there for them, and they can feel so much better about putting this on themselves and their children and their yards and whatever than the products that are all chemical driven. Thanks so much for being with us, Mosquito Steve. Don't forget, find him at mosquitosteve.com, or you can even call him. What kind of guy is this? You can call him at 214-520-0041, 214-520-0041. More in a moment. Stay put.